So I had a rare opportunity to test ride a Beta 300 cross trainer and a Beta 200 RR race edition on actual somewhat quote-unquote enduro trails. That's what we call them. Now, if you're looking at both of these bikes, hands down, I do see why. It's a very, very tough decision to make. And on top of that, everyone's riding style is different. So I feel like every review is somewhat skewed to their preference, of course. And the only thing I can really do is give my scenario, my situation, what I'm looking for, and what I am hoping these bikes can actually do for me. And maybe, just maybe, someone is in the same situation, or maybe looking for the same thing as me. And this is kind of why I am expressing this video. Now, I think I might throw in a TE250i, the KTM Husqvarna, and even my trials bike, just to create some kind of relation and demonstration of what I'm hoping to achieve. Now, yeah, I am a pretty, larger guy. I'm pretty little tall. I'm about 6'1", and I weigh about 220 pounds. But throw in some gears, I'm a little bit heavier. So this can shed a light on some riders who are looking for a smaller seat height, because me being 6'1", even the TE250i, I feel, although it's of course rideable for me, I still, believe it or not, want a lower seat height. But it's just not about the seat height. It's also about the weight and the manipulation of the dirt bike. Now, this is kind of where that trials bike kind of comes into play.
So I'm kind of out here to kind of give a brief demonstration. You can pop up your front tire. This is a pretty big ledge, but then you have another step ledge. And you're in a bind. Let's say you're in a bind over here. What I like about these light models, the Beta cross trainer, it's 218 pounds, right? So getting over weird issues, say you get yourself into a bind, boom. And this is kind of where the trials kind of comes into play. And this is kind of one of the reasons why I'm looking at lighter bikes, because if I'm out solo exploring and I get myself into a bind, I can move it around, mess around with it. Now, of course, my skill levels are probably nowhere near to ride this kind of stuff. But I'm going to go down here, give a little bit more of a demonstration of what I mean. So that's what I mean. This is a perfect example. Obviously, this is not very big. Oftentimes, you're going to come around some weird rocks, some weird scenario kind of like this, where you're not sure, as you're building up your skills and your confidence, hey, can I drop down? But as the seat is higher, that confidence kind of goes away, And then sometimes you might lose your balance on this kind of stuff here. Right here, boom. If you have a tall seat, it's not going to end very well for you. I mean, sure, it's part of, dirt biking is part of learning. But you could put one foot down and kind of mess around. The whole point is just confidence, right? It gives you confidence to do this kind of stuff. Here's another weird angle. You're not used to this, right? Slowly oh, I don't know how my bike is going to behave. Imagine a tall bike. I'd rather be on the Beta cross trainer at this point. When I'm dropping down, at least I can put a leg down, right? And it gives you confidence to kind of explore weird territory like this, you can say.
It is correct that I am on a trials bike. I thought this was a cross trainer versus 200 RR video. Well, it was just to demonstrate confidence when it comes to seat height, and also manipulation of the dirt bike due to its weight. Now, of course, the sole purpose is to stand up on this kind of terrain. But as you are learning and slowly getting the feeling on how the bike is going to behave, a lot of times you're going to sit down, extend your feet. You naturally just start standing up to confidence level. It's human nature. The TE250i, although way more than capable, it is a hard enduro machine. Just being on a cross trainer or Beta 200RR gave me a huge confidence boost due to its nimbleness and, of course, the seat height. And that's exactly what Beta is, rideability. Now let's focus a bit more on the technical aspects of the dirt bikes. The cross trainer versus the Beta 200RR, both being more than capable of hard enduro and even growing into the bike for long-term use. However, these two bikes shine in two different categories, although they kind of revolve in the same category. And hands down, I can say the cross trainer would be a much more preferred enduro machine when it comes to slow technical riding, as the cross trainer can just literally lug up about in any gear. The power is incredibly predictable with a bunch of low-end run. The best way I can also describe the cross trainer was it felt like a scaled down dirt bikes.
Dude, even what? Dude, my T250 is not like that. Standing up, I'm 6'1". That's all right, you know, get some bar risers and definitely pulls. So what I like about this thing is, you know, I'm on third gear right now. It just has so much low end torque. So there's a lot of areas that where I had to be, you know, on the res with the TE250i. This area just lugs, man.
Perhaps a 3/4 version of a dirt bike, which in my opinion was really great when it comes to confidence building. Now the suspensions. The cross trainer did give me confidence to hit things at a much slower speed due to its soft plush ride, almost like a trials bike, except a bit more stiff with a little bit more travel and feeling. The cross trainer comes at around 10.6 suspension travel. However, compared to the Beta 200RR or even the KTM 250s and 300s, it did not shine at speed, which is okay. The Beta 200RR has a little bit more suspension travel at, I believe, 11.6 inches. Now, the Beta cross trainer, it does make up for it in harsh technical terrain, especially when it comes to comfort. One thing to keep in mind with the Beta 200RR is the added seat height at about 36.6 inches. And as a reference point, the TE250i sits slightly taller at 37.4 inches. And still being 6'1", the cross trainer gave me way more confidence in gnarlier terrain, allowing me to have a little bit more flexibility when it came to mistakes when putting my feet down. Now both shine in hard enduro. However, we all know the Beta 200RR seat height is slightly taller, but don't let that fool you because it is so lightweight feeling of a 125cc that you can easily still manipulate the dirt bike if caught in a bind. Now the pros when it comes to the Beta 200RR is without the aggressive nature and how it lets you ride more aggressive than the cross trainer.
No problem.
I definitely enjoyed the 200RR a lot more when it came to the fun factor. Able to ride in the revs, the hit, it just puts a huge smile on my face versus the cross trainer. Not to say the cross trainer doesn't have any fun factor, which it definitely does. Similar to a play bike like the Honda XR200R, just a way more premium feeling. Now when it comes to the decision, it was very hard for me to pick a preferred bike. I couldn't pick one over the other, but if it does help, I can say this between the two bikes. If I can only keep two dirt bikes out of this entire world, strictly for trail riding, it will be these two dirt bikes right here. The cross trainer for really gnarly terrain, confidence inspiring, ease of use, predictability, that low end grunt, low seat height, and the manipulation of the dirt bike. The cross trainer would be my go-to for unexplored, very rough single track where I know I won't be going that fast. Not to say the cross trainer is not capable of going fast, which it is, but the Beta 200RR, yet still shining in gnarly terrain just like the cross trainer, But the chosen bike for fast trail riding to be in the revs, looking for that fun factor, yet have that tremendous low end to behave like a modern 250 enduro bike, yet nimble enough to feel like a 125. However, one thing to point out is the suspension travel of the Beta 200RR at 11.6 inches, which allows harsher hits. To give you an idea, I'd much rather choose the Beta 200RR out in Moab, Utah, where this is a combination of harsh hits, faster trail riding, where I possibly might need that extra travel and firmness. Not to say the Cross Trainer is not able to do it, because we all know it's all about the rider, especially with these two dirt bikes. Anyhow guys, let me know which bikes you guys prefer and why, and just go ahead and list it in the comments below.